Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. So, when you woke up today, did you think the market was going to do what it's doing? Just wondering. The market actually hit above 62,000. It hit about 62,760 thereabouts. I mean, for Bitcoin. Obviously other projects were up as well. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Peeping the numbers, Bitcoin's up nicely, back to 45% year to date. Ethereum's having a really hard time picking up the slack. I think it's because there's a lot going on in the Ethereum space from a lot of places that are recovering money, maneuvering money, that kind of stuff. Um, but I think that it's causing confusion, and that's why Ethereum is not bumping up the way it should bump up. You had some thieves, some hackers move, I think $36 million worth of ETH over to Tornado Cash. Again, feeding to fears, but not feeding into actual effect. You know what I mean? So there's that. But we'll see how that actually plays out. I mean, I think that does have a small impact on the open market. But again, we'll see how that plays out. So right now, Ethereum is on sale, as far as I can tell. If you're looking at Solana's at 162, back above 60% on year to date. So that's kind of a big deal. Should be paying attention to that just a wee bit. XRP is not shooting up. It rose a tad, but it's not shooting up the way you would think. I think right now everybody's kind of in shock. You saw the news hit; it's everywhere, but I don't think that it's really hitting people just yet. That it's over, it's done. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that's settled in. So I think what's going to wind up happening is you'll start to hear news about deals that Ripple's making. It won't necessarily have to be directly involving XRP, but that positive news will probably help buoy XRP. So just saying. What do we have tonight for tonight's question? What do you call the average purchase price of a digital asset? Meaning you've bought a digital asset several different times. What do you call that? You have choices: strike price, aggregate price, cost basis, other. If it's other, do me a favor, drop it in the notes. Joaquin, what's up? I think you got an email saying, I gotta fix my camera a little bit there. It's a little bit on the lopsided side. Why is it staying lopsided? That's gonna annoy me. All right. So you should have gotten an email as a response. I was told that you got that. You were told that we're going to create something. We should have that taken care of probably tomorrow. The tracker is separate from that, and as soon as that's so you can still do the tracker. It's actually, the link is in the description on the past 2 days, as well as it'll be in the description here. And when we have that done, I'll have them drop you another email to let you know, hey, you can go do that. If I recall, I think we've had a couple of people ask about that, having that same kind of setup. So, back to regular news. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I haven't really launched the tracker. Right now, it's a soft launch. Right now, there's only one page that has it, and you have to come to the videos to actually get the link to get it. So why is that? You got to work out the kinks. You honestly have to work out the kinks. So we had some kinks with Spend Cookie. We found the last sentence on the purchases page tells you can delete the row, but it doesn't say click the remove last to delete the row. So small things like that we're catching. No. So one of my guys has asked me if I was interested in something, and I had to tell him no. Um, so there's stuff like that. So we're kind of paying attention to how that all works and everything else. Again, working out the kinks. Plus, we want to do a commercial for it. We want to have it added to the homepage. So that means spiff up the homepage a bit. We have to fix the verbiage on it. We have to give it an image so it looks, like a real freaking product. Because the sales page looks like crap. We even on the sales page we had a small problem. So it said $50, and it's because it's rounding to the nearest number from 49.95. See what I mean? So it's working out the kinks, normal stuff. But I was in a rush to get it out there because I kept promising and it didn't come. So I just said, you know what, we're gonna have to do what we have to do. Period. And the team came through. They did what they were supposed to do, and now we're backfilling opportunities for improvement. So there you go. There you have it. So you can blame the boss. Gate.io CEO still thinks that it is going to be a positive market. The crypto industry is going strong. And I have to agree. I have to agree with that. And the reason why is because it is going strong. Like there's no, people are freaking out because everything dropped a bit. Like from where we are now, it's come up from $49,000, right? So that's a $12,000 gain. And at one point it was a $13,000 gain from where we were when we hit that low, right? I didn't think we would break below 50,000, but we did. Bitcoin did. And it was from, like I said, I keep using that same phrase. It was because of an imperfect storm. You had a lot of negative news. You had a lot of FUD, and you needed positive news and realistic news to break through. You had the R word being tossed around everywhere. It's still being tossed around, but people are starting to go, yeah, we got to stop falling for the rope-a-dope. Because who's calling it a recession? Everybody that wants companies to earn more money. A lot of these companies turn profits. It just wasn't enough profits. Think about that. You destroy a stock price because not enough profits. So that's what had started before the Nikkei just went bonkers and killed everything. So now everything's starting to come back all right. Starting to, adjust is what I would say. 5 votes, not bad. Okay. All right. So I do still feel positive, and it's not just a little bit positive. I'm feeling very positive. I know people think I'm crazy, but I'm like, how could you not feel positive about the current crypto industry? You have Franklin, just looking at my notes, you have Franklin Templeton expanding their tokenized money market where from they're doing Ethereum, what is it, FOBXX? They're on Ethereum via Arbitrum. How are you mad about that? That's a $1.5 trillion money manager. So I'm sitting back and I'm just going, that's interesting. Right? So it's things like that where you're talking about the integration of technology, not just the adoption, not just the investment, but the integration of the technology into normal business operations. That's what I'm talking about. What's the next leg? The next leg will eventually be the normal integration of leveraging digital assets in regular person or retail person, operations. Like you go to the store, you normally use your debit card. I'm going to boop, boop, and use my digital assets to pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. You have more ways of, onboarding fiat. I mean, I don't know who could actually use, Bing X here, but Bing X has integrated Apple Pay and Google Pay. You're starting to see things like that happen to make it easier for you to onboard money. You can onboard money by buying Bitcoin via Cash App and so many other applications out there. And so you sit back and you kind of wonder, wow, I can flip my money right here on Cash App to Bitcoin, and I can send that Bitcoin wherever I want. I can use that Bitcoin. There are lots of things that I can do. Lots of things that I can do with that. As you start to see that grow, as you continue to see institutional integration of Web3 technologies, you're going to have more and more pricing increases. Just saying, the more you use it, the better off it is. The better off it is, the happier your bags are. Some simple stuff, but it can be complex once you start diving more deeply in. So I get it, right? I definitely get it. It takes a minute for you to understand everything that's going on in the crypto space, which is why I tell people, do research every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can spare. Whatever your brain at that moment can handle, right? Guys, the biggest joke is men go in the bathroom and they never come out, right? Well, you go in the bathroom, do a little bit of research. Sitting on your throne, do a little bit of research. You're sitting on the bus or the train going to work, do a little bit of research. Right? It's better than flicking through, videos that tell you nothing, that make you go, ha, 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 ha. Why not do something that's actually going to do something for you? You're going to learn something, and you're going to be able to put that to work against your crypto. Hello, Bianca. So this is what I'm looking for you to do. I know it sounds crazy. I know I'm asking for a lot, but if you do it, you're going to learn, you're going to earn. And it's up to you how much you're going to earn, how much you're going to lose, how much, all that. It's all up to you. You can sit on the sidelines, or you can say, you know what? I'm going to try to take my future into my own hands. I'm going to start investing in me. First step is investing in me, right? Then it's investing in my future me. If I invest in me right now, I'm doing research and I'm learning. Investing in my future me, I understand what I'm learning about, and I'm going to take some money and I'm going to put it toward it. See how that works? I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Other news, you have BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF. Yo, Larry Fink is not playing games. If you look at all of the other ETFs that are out there, they experience losses. BlackRock experiences far less outflows than everybody else. Why is that? Because they're using their other funds to buy into their spot ETFs. Smart, right? Gives everybody exposure. They have it leveraged right, and it decreases net outflows, net inflows. So it increases inflows, obviously, but decreases net outflows. But they're seeing, like, I think, what was it yesterday, $108 million in. I'm just saying. And you have companies following BlackRock and what they're doing. So far, so good, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. There is a bank out there that's looking like it might fail. U.S. Federal Reserve takes enforcement action against customers, Bancorp, potentially related to crypto activities. That's why that article's there. Yeesh. But it's kind of like, well, what crypto activities were you doing? Ty, what's up? Ty, I'm gonna do a class on that, on research, because I literally have to take an inventory, and you'll get it. All of you will understand this. There are certain things that you do that are just rote, meaning it's just in your head. You just automatically do it. Sort of like breathing. You just do it. You don't know. You don't take course that, oh, I'm actually increasing my lungs and letting everything in and then out through the mouth. You're not doing that. You just breathe. So it's the same thing when I get up to go do research. I just open up a ton of different places and I just start pouring over, headlines and paragraphs to see if I want to dig in, and I dig in and I read that, I quickly read that article and come back. Well, is that something that I want to talk about or not? Or I read the article and I put it off to the side or ditch it because I'm waiting to see if it's corroborated someplace else, or if it's the same damn article just in two different places. See what I mean? So everything to me is just back of the hand. So I need to take a step back and do an inventory of how I do it, step by step by step by step. so that I can explain it. And then what I see normally, I tried to explain it to one of my kids once, and I realized that there are so many things that I pick up on just by rote. I just keep flicking because I know what this means. I know what that headline means. I know what that preview paragraph means. And it's a waste of time, so I just keep moving. When something sounds too fantastic, probably is too fantastic. Yo, Hutanik, what's up? Hold on, let me space because I can't see everything you said. Jordan didn't think about the for real. Jordan did not think about his fadeaway shots. He just did it. He tried being a coach. He sucked at it. Because he can't tell you how he can just float through the air. That's just his ability. He says, because he'll look at you and just be like, just jump from the line. Just get a jump. Just jump. I jumped. I didn't do it. He can't tell you that. How many times does Steph Curry, take a shot and just turn around and just be like, because he knows he doesn't have to see it go in. He can't tell you why he's such a good 3-point shooter. He could say, oh, well, I practice all the time. I practice. Yes. But it's also just a freakish ability that he has. Right? I'm not quite that good at research, but it's kind of the same with me. I just know what I'm pouring through. I'm reading just some of the dumbest articles you've ever seen. You just sit there and you're just like, damn. But the reason why they keep writing the articles is because there are so many people out there that read them. There's no reason to stop the dumb articles because people are reading them. They're clicking through. That's all they want you to do. They want you to click through so they can get the advertising dollars. Can't be mad at the business model, but you have to learn how to get around that. Anyway, that's enough about that. And how to distinguish FUD over. Yeah, that'll be in the class because it's one of the reasons why I tell people do your own research. Right? That's a longer topic than I thought it was. When I thought about it, what time was it today? I think it was like 10 o'clock in the morning this morning. I was thinking about, the whole class thing, and everybody asked me, how do you do it? It was really because of Dan, who's not here, by the way. Freaking send him an email and yell at him, how come you're not here? But there are so many facets to it. And now you know why I'm like, wow. When Dan first asked me to do it, I was like, come on, seriously? Because I wasn't that I was too good. It was that I would feel like I'm talking down to people. Like, this is what you do. And it's the idea that if people knew how to do everything I know how to do, everything that I've been doing for 30, 40 years, I've always done research on whatever it is. I've always done research. Like I asked my mother that. She was like, yeah, you've always been like that. Oh, you're here. What's up, Dan? She was like, you've always been like that. You've always researched stuff. Since you were a child, you normally have never made a move without thinking about it. It still can be the wrong move, but you always did what you were supposed to do in terms of doing your own research. So if you made a mistake, it was an educated mistake. And then, so you learn, like I said, it's secondhand to me. And these are tools that I'm literally going to have to sit down and write it all out. And it amazed me. And it was Dan's fault that it hit me like, oh. And I think I did it like in the video. I like stopped and thought about what he was saying, what he was asking. And in the video, I was like, oh, damn, he's right. Which is why we're going to do the class. However, However, I want to say again, um, I'm trying to get to 10 people that buy the crypto tracker, and then I'll put together a class. It's a free class. It's a free class, okay? But I'll put together a class that those people can dial into to learn how to use the crypto tracker. I'll show you this is this, that is that. You'll be able to ask questions because we'll all be there, right? So that's the idea, But I'm trying to do it because less than 10 people, and it really does become less. It becomes a waste of time. I mean, obviously, if it's more, I'll be happy that it's more, but I need at least 10. Um, You, Hutanic, and Dan really need to go stand in the corner sometimes. Not supposed to make me laugh so hard. Um, that damn Dan. Um, but yeah, there's so much to it, and a lot of it is nuance. A lot of it is nuance. Like I'll have to sit there and be like, okay, let me snag this. Like I'm gonna snag a whole bunch of articles, good ones and bad ones, and I'll try to keep them current, right? So that we can walk through those articles and you can start to see, oh, that's what he's talking about. Oh, that's that. And we'll get a few of them that show the same thing so you can see the variations in how your brain has to think. Now you know why I say do your own research every day, because it's muscle memory, to a certain extent. But yeah, we'll get there, and I'll definitely put that together. It's not going to be this Saturday, but I'm think I have to figure out I want it to be on a Saturday because that Saturday is the best day to do it. I'll be awake, um, and I'll put together the class. And something else that I'll do is the crypto tracker class. I'm going to do that class, and I'll record it so that we can just put it up there, and people will be like, oh, and they'll know how to do stuff. Um, the the training on how to do research class. I don't know if I'm going to record that one. I should. I should, shouldn't I? I should. That's going to be a live class as well. I'm trying to do a good mix of live classes and not live classes, to make it easy on people so they can actually tap things. So that's probably why I will record, so that people that, can't make the actual class can still buy into, the class that's recorded, so they can, they can learn too. Because I can't be up 24 hours. Cannot be up 24 hours. Question. Have you guys paid attention to the market today? And have you guys, folks, sorry, there are ladies here too. Bianca, Spen Cookie might be on. I know she'll listen later if she's not on now. But, and Captain Banana is not on. I'm shocked. But looking at the market, I was like, yeah, we hit that. We were hitting 60,000 for a bit, and it kept coming down. 60,000, bound, 60, bound. And then, but finally able to bust through. Cool beans. Now my next question is: have you taken advantage? Some of you have taken advantage of that dip, right? Some people did not take advantage of the dip. That's not to say that there won't be a pullback, right? But I think there could be a pullback, not necessarily another dip, right? So what's your plan going forward? And I'm not asking you to answer me now. I'm asking you so that you can ask yourself, well, what's my plan going forward? Were you one of those people that cut off their DCA strategy because the market crashed? Or did you at least keep your DCA strategy in place? Seriously, we were at $11,000 BTC this time, 2020. Yeah. But it was different then. It was very different then. And now it's even more different. People are freaking out because it went down to $49,000, and they're forgetting that it wasn't too long ago that we were only at like just above 16. Right? So I'm just sitting here and I'm just going, Do you people pay attention to anything? Everybody with floppy hands. Do you pay attention to anything? Do you listen to anybody? They clearly don't do their own research. They react purely on headlines. And then what happens is you have algorithms out there that are running for people because they're bots. Bots are better. No, they're not. That are just running. And I'm just like, yeah, come on now. Come on now. Different because more adoption curve. I think it's so we've always had an adoption curve, right? It's just greater now, right? What we have now that's extra is integration. People are not talking about integration, and they really, really should be. Who the hell was thinking about tokenization a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? Now you have Franklin Templeton and others tokenizing like freaking everything because they know it's cheaper, it's faster, they can make more money with it. That wasn't happening in 2020. That's not that long ago. It wasn't, you didn't even have that really happening, really going on in 2022. Right? The first place I really heard about it was it South America for real estate? Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. Hold it. VCRs past indoor adoption curves. BT shows more adoption curves. You know that. Wow. I thought I was the only one that knew that kind of stuff, but yeah. So what Hutanik is writing is that VCRs passed indoor plumbing on adoption curves. BTC shows more adoption curve than the internet. Here's something better for you. It shows more adoption curve than credit cards. Allow that to wash over yourself for a moment because I'm giving you a like for like. It took decades for credit cards to catch on. Don't believe me? I want you to go back. There's a movie with Cary Grant, A Touch of Mink. And in that movie, he's a big time executive of a big time conglomerate. And one of his places, was a credit card company. You want to know why that movie was made? It's because the credit card company at the time was funding it or helped to fund it because they wanted people to think that credit cards were okay. Mention, things back then that meant something. Remember Howard Johnson's? Out of business now, but remember Howard Johnson's? It took decades for credit cards to actually catch on. People don't realize that. How old is Bitcoin? 2009. 2009. Clearly, work started happening long before that, but it was introduced in 2009. And here we are today, 2024. 15 years. And look at the level of adoption. Big hitters enter the ring. Yeah, pretty much. But look at what's happening. Built for the people, by the people, and it started taking off. It started getting used. Of course, the first thing that it does, that people use it for, is nefarious reasons. Takes a hit, goes up. Takes a hit, goes up. These are the differences that I'm talking about. Is the inflated economy... I hate this interface. Is the inflated economy the new normal economy? I'm bull or bear based on this. I think that you have to make that decision. A lot of people look at the economy differently. You have people out there screaming. There's somebody out there who had a model that says we're in a recession, but she doesn't believe it. She built it. She doesn't believe it. You have other people screaming recession. We're going to hit one. We're this close. We're that close. and they're screaming recession, and they're not necessarily saying so well orchestrated landing. What kind of brass does Powell have to call an emergency meeting, discuss, and that's it? We're not going to flinch. We're going to keep going as we're going right now. The data does not sell panic. The actual data does not sell panic. It's just that people want it. It's like the time period after Thanksgiving, but before, or Indigenous Peoples Day, and then before Christmas, or before the holidays, Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Everybody wants their gift. When is it going to get here? When is it going to get here? When is Christmas going to get here? When is the holiday going to get here? Yeah, it'll be here. I want it now. It's not that far away. It's not that far away. So Powell, major brass to take heat from everybody and just stay the course. So it really depends on, I'm not an economist. I'll say that. But it's up to you to believe how you think the economy is currently and how you think the economy is going to go, which is why I say do your own research, find economists. That's why you get a group of economists and you see how each one feels. And then you kind of come up with your own thought process to what you think is going to happen. In my opinion, what did I miss? Is that what you mean? In my opinion? What in your opinion? But yeah, you kind of got to weigh that on your own and see, well, economy is doing well, economy is not doing well. Compare the economy to other economies of other countries that can affect us and countries that can't affect us. Like Venezuela is not going to affect us. I'm just saying. I don't think even oil-wise they can affect us. So you start to look at the various economies. You start to look at, how our economy is doing. You start to realize that we're at $35 trillion in debt. We pay $1 trillion a year in interest alone. Things have got to change. We can't keep spending money. And we can't keep blaming, certain things about that money. We have to come to the reality that if we don't have the right people spending, paying the right taxes, well, that's what's going to be the problem. That's really what's going to be the problem. So you start to realize that, oh, okay, we got to fix that. And, hopefully slowly but surely we'll get there. I don't see it yet, but hopefully slowly but surely we'll get there. I mean, do you realize that the last time we had a balanced budget, Clinton was in office? That makes people just stop and choke on it for a minute. Like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, that's really the case. Interesting. I was just looking at the notes. I did miss your comment. What was the comment? Different because of the adoption curve. Then I see the VCR one and I don't see another one. Just what else is there? I hate missing comments. It's freaking annoying. You know what I mean? It's like asking somebody, what'd you say? It's so annoying. Because you guys have really good comments, and that's one of the reasons why I hate missing them. So if you don't mind, please repeat the comment. I would love to see what it is. But yeah, I think about, what the economy is. I think about what the debt is. I think about how we're spending money, where we're spending money, right? I think about what's being proposed. I think about all that stuff, and I go through the machinations of what's the math behind it that gives me the feeling about where our economy is going. So it seemed like a simple question, Ty, but now you know why I'm saying I think that's up to you. To me, we have a stronger economy than most countries out there, but that doesn't mean I think we have a strong economy. Relatively, we've got a strong economy, but standalone, this is not sustainable. It is not sustainable, and by any fashion. So you figure out, well, what does that mean? I mean, well, look at all the fiat around the world. You start to think about, all that stuff. I had a conversation with a young man today. He's from Senegal. And I said, what are you going to do, a little while? He goes, well, I'm getting ready to move back to Senegal and do real estate. I said, what about global warming? Senegal's on the water, right? And he's, yeah. I said, so what are you going to do about water tables rising? Have you done research on that? Because I'm older and I'm thinking about where am I going to retire? Where's my money going to stretch the most? What has good health care? All that stuff. And here's something that should really be kicking in people's heads. Are we going to have the Social Security that we pay into? If that doesn't have you shook, there's something wrong. Because that means that if you don't have that safety net, that means that you're going to have to fund everything on your own. And how are you going to do that? Like, have you made that calculation? I tell people all the time, listen, if you don't own land, if you don't own property now, it's going to be harder for you to do so. Even with interest rates coming down, it's going to be harder for you to own actual property. And here's the kicker. It's going to be harder for you to own actual property, even in areas that you normally wouldn't look like. So if here's the epicenter that you want to live in, because of the expense and everything else, you might have to expand that epicenter and start thinking on the outside. Like I said, the moat around the wealthy has grown immensely, which is why I invest, right? And I hope I'm investing wisely. I pray I'm investing wisely. I won't know so far so good, but I won't really know until I'm ready to say, okay, I'm done. But you know me, I'm not really going to say it's done. I just, like right now, I'm trying to transition from being, us doing consulting to us doing this whole web thing. Because imagine if I can grow this channel. If I can grow this channel and I can make as much money doing the channel and doing Grow My Bag compared to, me doing my day job, my day business of being a consultant. Would I keep consulting? Why? Get up early in the morning, have to deal with customers and clients and all that stuff instead of having great conversations with you guys. Creating content for you guys. Oh, about content. Had a meeting today. Had a meeting with this young man. He's a technical analyst. He dives into numbers when it comes to stocks, because I realize I do crypto, and we've just released a crypto tool. Was thinking maybe we should have a stock tool. Help people start to learn and understand stocks, right? There are tons of platforms out there that'll do it. We just want something simple that'll give you indicators and stuff like that. Anyways, I need to shave anyway. So you're not gonna tell me, or was that the statement? You're killing me, Hutanik. You're killing me. If you leave to go shave without telling me what the comment was, unless that's the comment, I will be highly upset. I'll be highly upset. So Ty, back to your comment, to your question. It's not as easy as you think. It's not as cut and dry as you think. You asking me how I think the economy is, not an economist. Or you asking me how I think it, I can tell you my machinations, how I do things. I have made comments. I have made the comment 5 times. Ball, seriously, we were at, all right, so I'll read them to you. There's, you need another channel. Oh, is that the comment? I need another channel, GSB. That's your suggestion that I should leave this for crypto only. Grow My Bag, the channel, is about business. It's about investment, whatever that investment is. That's why it fits. No, not that. Damn. Captain Banana, I'm always here. Keep reading. All right, let me scroll down. No, it'd be I don't have time to sit here and read in front of everybody. Just tell me the comment, and then I'll respond to the comment. My lord, my man. You're welcome, Ty. You're very much welcome. And Captain Banana, thank you for always being there. Thank you very much. Then you had the no, that's you had that comment. You had BTC. You had different because more adoption curve. The VCR comment. IMO. You missed my comment. Anyways, I need to shave. I have made the comment 5 times. Dude, you think it's easy to scroll up and down. It's not. When I'm on a thought process, it's hard. It's hard. So if you go to other channels, other big channels, and they're doing the same thing, they've got the comments going and everything like that. You chose violence. You chose violence. See, now I know why she rolls her eyes. Now I know why you choose violence all the damn time. But yeah, when you look at other channels, they give you tools to have your comment bubble up. They give you tools for that, and it's easy. We need bifocals at this. Bifocals, man. I need some trifocals, quadrifocals. I'm just saying. I've got my notes over here. I've got the chat over there. I'm watching the stream quality over here. Like I've got like several different chunks of, and my screens are like super wide. They're like super wide, and you know I got the huge wide curve screen. So I've got windows with all kinds of information in front of me. So yeah, it's not, you know. And there's another monitor right there that you guys can't see that's off camera. Good news is that everyone else saw it. Oh, you are deaf. I owe you one. When we finally do that meetup, you are buying me a drink. A freaking pain in the butt sometimes, but it's funny. It's a funny pain in the butt, not a bad pain in the butt. The struggle is real, dude. The struggle is real, man. The struggle is so real. Age catches up to you. I used to have like 2010, 2015. I used to have like crazy vision. You know what I mean? Now it's like I'm like a normie. I just have 2020. Like, the hell is that about? I mean, I think I could probably test better than 2020, but it feels like I could just see at 2020. Like I used to be like the necklace around my neck. There's a diamond in the eye. When I first got it, they had to replace the diamond because I could see, you know, because they shaved the diamond to make it nice and shiny. I could see, you know, strokes in the diamond. This small, I could see the strokes. Now, psh, I'm lucky I can tell that it's white, that it's a diamond. You know, I'm used to. Oh no. That last statement is full of it. It's not that you're used to talking to her, it's that she's used to your shit. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. Hence the it's freaking awesome though. It's freaking awesome. You know, I think one of the things that I think about when I started this channel is learning. She's grabbing her phone now. Oh, I hope she signs on and shares. Oh, please sign on. Yes, please. But yeah, I mean, when I first started, it was all about learn. And when Elliot and I first got started, Elliot is the guy who I was talking to you about that does the whole TA thing on the stock side. We used to have desks that faced each other in a conference room that we used to call our war room. And that's where we started day trading. That's where we started mucking around with stuff, stocks, bonds, options. You know, we were just in it. We figured we decided on a number, on a number, an amount of money that we're willing to part with, that we're willing to learn with, right? And we started off with paper money, which is fake money, but you can do trades based on real time data. And we started digging in, and it just spiraled from there. We kept doing it. Like we kept figuring things out. It was back then that we figured out, oh snap, what's this Bitcoin thing? It's Bitcoin Cash, XRP, XLM, Ethereum. Like, what is this? And we started doing research, and we just started digging in and digging in and digging in. And we're both geeks. We build applications just because, not even because we want to sell them, but just because. I want to learn how to do that. I'll build an application that forces me to learn how to do that. We're both the same. We'll do dumb stuff like that. And so we started digging into what's the basis of this? What's the basis of that? That's how we learned the whole arbitrage thing across the exchanges around the world. And back then you didn't have KYC. So we had Gate.io, GateHub, Binance. Like, we had accounts like freaking everywhere. Bitstamp. Just everywhere. And back then you had to really research what exchange you were going to be on. Why? They were all new. They were all freaking new. So what are you going to do with all these new exchanges? You had to do the research. And back then you had scammers buying similarly named domain names that would screw you up. So then they started doing security, different types of security. And believe it or not, some of the scammers started doing the same thing. So they would look like, oh no, we're the real one. They're the fake one. We're the real one. So yeah, it was the wild, wild west. So going back to Hutanek's comment, it was $11,000 in 2020. I started long before that. I'm over a decade, right? And you start to think about, well, damn, things have changed a lot between then and now. Like hell a lot. And that's what we started looking at, how do we learn? So when people ask me, well, how do you do this stuff? When people say, when you look at the news, why is Algo's taps Zodia Bank custody? And the reason why that's a big deal is because Zodia custody is one of the owners of that is Standard Chartered. Why is that a big deal? Because one of the owners of that is Standard Chartered and a few other big companies. And they're performing the custody for algos. And you sit there and you just go, wow, that's actually a big deal. That's institutional level stuff. So you start pulling those tiny things together, and you start putting together, and now you have a story that you can pay attention to. Right? And I'll tell you something. It's not just going to be a class on how you do your research. It's going to also be a class on where do you store your research. Because research doesn't mean jack if all you're doing is reading it. Okay, I read it. Are you going to remember that 10 days from now? Are you going to remember that a month from now? I have a really good memory. But I'm old, like Hutanek says. Right? And is she on yet? I'm waiting for her to get on. I need some help with you. It's a pain in the butt. I'm not going to remember it all. That's why when you see me, I'm like, certain things I remember. But whenever I give you a date, unless it's a significant date to me personally, I'm not going to remember that. So when I give you a date 9 times out of 10, I'm going back to my notes and coming back and saying, oh, I remember that, but it was on this day that I said that to you. That's how I do it. And you want to know where that comes from? Being a consultant. CYA, cover your ass. Take notes. Send emails so that when somebody says, "Oh, you didn't," Tuesday at 11:59 a.m., I sent you this email, and it said, "Boom." Either you didn't read it, you missed it, whatever, but I did call that out. So I take notes. I take copious notes. Not just little, I take copious notes. Then I started writing articles because I'm a fast writer. And I just started just banging stuff out, mostly for me. But also, my kids can also go back and see all that so that they can see that, oh, daddy wasn't talking nonsense. Daddy did the research. We can see it. It's right there. Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be a very interesting class. A very interesting class. Shit. We should do that class. What's next weekend? Not this weekend. So that's the 10th, the 17th. Maybe I should do that. That's too soon. That's only a week for everybody to find out about the class, sign up for the class. That's too soon, right? Do it the week after, but the week after is my birthday. It's my birthday weekend, so I've got to think about when I can do that. That's because that takes away. Or maybe I don't do a Sunday roundup and I just do the class on Sunday. That could work. That could work. But I like giving people at least a 2-week runway before I do a class, so that we can get the word out, and then we can sign up with the class, right? But now something I didn't realize is that Binance freaking successfully recovered $73 million of stolen funds this year. I was born on a cusp. I'll say that. That's actually a very big deal. A few months ago, was it earlier this year? It was earlier this year when they started hammering. Oh, dude, that's awesome. It was a few months ago that a few people were talking about Binance. The United States was going after Binance for different things, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But on the other side, on the law enforcement side, Binance is helping all of these freaking countries seize crypto assets. But on the other side, they're saying, oh, they're not doing anything. And I just sat there and I was just like, wow. So you look at this number, that's why it sticks in my head, because certain incidents, and you see, oh, $73 million of stolen assets. Huh. That's interesting. Now you know now you know why I do that, because it helps me gain knowledge and stuff like that I can call up. Anyway, I'm done rambling for you guys, making you guys listen to stupid stuff. Hutanik, tell your girlfriend I'm sorry that she didn't get on in time to share some war stories about you. You know what? Both of us being, that same sign, it's probably why we get along so well. Game respects game, She can't figure out a screen name. Patient One. That's her screen name. Patient One. Yeah. Yeah. That should really be her screen name. Dead serious. That should be her screen name. And spell it like PAYSHINTWON. Patient One. Just to be different. Just saying. I think that'd be awesome. I think that would be freaking awesome. Come on, hurry up. I'll stay on longer just so she can sign up, just so I can see her. So now I'll have a friend that helps me put up with you. But you know what? I did ask a question today. Besides the poll question, I asked a question today, and the question was, have you thought about what you're doing with the market? Are you thinking about the exit strategy or purchasing strategy for the market that's here and the market to come. And it's not necessarily a question that you have to answer to me. It's a question that I'm asking you to ask yourself. Are you planning properly? Are you thinking properly about your investment in yourself? So that's, and I just want somebody to actually tell me, yes, I'm thinking that way, or no, I'm not thinking that way, and I need some help thinking that way. Like, how do you start thinking that way? What are the things? What's the immediate checklist? Broad stroke, what are the things I should be thinking about? I'd like to have those kinds of answers, because I notice that I get questions all the time from different people from all over the place. And it helps me kind of hone the conversation I'm going to have with you guys. And it helps me talk about the topics that I think is going to be there. She's too busy going off on me. I'm highly disappointed. I thought I was going to have a homie, and now you've pissed her off, and now she's going off on you. You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose. And it's on video now. That's going to live forever. It's going to live forever. It's because of you. I know you planned it. The master plan. Oh my God. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. I hope you like what I'm doing. If you do and you haven't subscribed yet, do so. And if you're not a member yet, become a member, because members come with benefits. Anyway, everybody, have a great time. Have a great evening. And thank you so much for spending your time with me. I greatly appreciate you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.